Here I am about to beat the first game in Tomb Raider 1, 2 and 3 Remastered, and here you'll see me pop the Consolidate the Material Bronze Trophy, which is unlocked for beating the original Tomb Raider 1 on New Game Plus, which is basically a hard mode version of the original game with a whole bunch of different changes and modifiers. So one of the main things you'll notice is different in this mode is that there are no longer any health item pickups, so you'll never find any medipacks in the game, as they've all been replaced with different ammo types for your Uzi and shotgun, which means you can't heal the conventional way. You also can't save anywhere in this mode, as the option in the menu has been completely removed, forcing you to play it like how it worked in the original game back on the PS1, as now there are save crystals in the levels that you have to reach and use them to perform a save, and when you do make a save in New Game Plus, it will also refill your health. So while you can't just heal with medipacks whenever you want, you can actually heal in the levels whenever you find one of these crystals to save, and when you beat a level, you'll start the next with full health. And trust me, in this mode, you're going to definitely want as much health as you can possibly get, because while in some of the levels there are a lot of save crystals, like in this level here, there's pretty much a save crystal on every floor of this room, other levels will require you to go for long stretches of gameplay before you reach another save crystal, and if you make one wrong move to the old controls, or you mistime a jump, or get killed by a creature, you'll have to replay all of that section again and hope that next time round you get to that shiny blue save crystal. Oh my god, boy am I glad to see you. Oh, Jesus. Full health, thank God. And if all of that didn't make New Game Plus tough enough, this mode also increases the amount of damage that bosses and enemies deal to Lara, meaning that Lara will just die really quickly at times as she gets swamped by a load of animals attacking her, and your health bar will just quickly drain to 0. And this will be happening to you a lot throughout your New Game Plus run, because as well as the enemies dealing more damage to Lara, they also take a lot of more bullets before they actually die. And by a lot, I mean a real awful lot, because some of these enemies take a load of shots before they go down. And it just means that basically with every combat encounter, you're better off just taking them out from a distance, or maybe jumping up to a ledge where they can't climb up and get you, and just shooting them from the safety of that ledge. If that fails, then you'll just want to run for it, and maybe try and use some of the things in the environment to give a bit more space between you and the enemy, because otherwise you'll find yourself quickly swamped by enemies, and you'll be game overing in an instant. So yeah, New Game Plus is clearly quite a challenging mode, but it was also a fun one to go through and play Tomb Raider in a different kind of way than I ever have done before, and it also made the combat encounters that more intense, because one wrong move and I would instantly be killed. But over the course of those 9 hours, I did have a few problems with this Consolidate the Material trophy, as there were a few annoying moments in some of the levels. So here are my top 5 most BS moments in New Game Plus. Number 5. The Bald Guy Boss in Natla's Mines. So this is a really annoying boss fight, because he has a shotgun that will deal you massive damage on New Game Plus, so it can be quite hard to get up to him without losing a load of your health, because for most of the bosses you're better off just sticking close to them and running around them and trying to always get to their back so they can't shoot you. But I would always end up getting killed this way with this boss, so I tried to go on these little rooftops nearby to just shoot him there, thinking that he wouldn't be able to hit me with the shotgun from that far away, but what do you know, he did. So then I tried to get up onto this structure here at the front of this building, the temple thing, and he still managed to get me up there even though I was higher up at that point. But perhaps the most BS moment of this boss fight came here when I suddenly lost track of where the bald guy was, and I was kind of doing well at this point because he wasn't really doing that much damage to me, and I was slowly chipping away at his health from up this high position. But then I just didn't know where he went, and I was looking all over the place for him, And then, well, this happened.
Oh, hell no!
So not only is this boss really tough, he can also teleport, which is just BS. Number 4. This section of the Atlantis level is a nightmare because there's a bunch of enemies waiting to ambush you at the top of this ramp, and you can't jump left and right because of the ceiling being too low, and Lara just hits her head on it, so you'll end up getting killed quite easily whenever you come up this ramp, as they will just bombard you with a load of explosive attacks. This section took me multiple times to try and get through it, and I would always end up just getting killed, so eventually I decided to just retreat, and they would try and chase after me but get stuck on the doorway to this corridor because they were too tall to get through it. So then all I had to do here was just shoot them from the safety of this corner without them hurting me, but even then it still took ages because of their massive amounts of health that they had. But yeah, this one would have been a lot higher if it wasn't for this lucky technique that I found to easily get through it. Number 3. This section of the last level just seems impossible to get through without taking damage, because you can't seem to time it right to get past all of these blow darts while shimmying along this wall. So you're just going to take a load of damage, and because traps and enemies deal more damage to you on New Game Plus, by the time you've got down here you'll barely have any health left. So I was always just dying at this point, unable to get through the trap. And then in those random moments and times when I did just luckily get through without every single dart hitting me, you're then faced with another horrible room as you go through here. There's a whole bunch of more traps that you've got to try and get past, like the boulder that will come from behind you, this swinging saw blade, and then all of these spikes here. So it's just a really tough section where there's 2 horrible rooms in a row, and you'll likely barely have any health at all by the time you get to this point, which then leads to another BS moment where you'll die here.
What?
That's right, the lava splashes killed me here because I didn't have enough health.
What the
Which is why this is a horrible section of the game. Number 2. Ugh, the Skater Boy boss in Natla's Mines was awful, and it was a really annoying bit to try and get past in an already really annoying level due to all of the boss fights in this one. But the Skater Boy is perhaps the worst because he just deals so much damage with those Uzis, and he's really quick, so he can easily just get you. And I tried to use the technique of fighting him from a distance in that secret room area, but he would always kill me before I could get all of his health down to 0. So I was forced to just face him head on, but as he had that Uzi, he would just always kill me over and over again, so this one just took me so many attempts to beat. But eventually I found a decent technique where you run up to this area here and then just go around in a circle and shoot him, and he shouldn't be able to hit you that much. Number 1. For me, this was the worst part of New Game Plus, because this corridor here is an absolute nightmare. It's basically a death corridor where 2 of these mutants will come chasing at you, and you'll have very little room to move around and kill them before they kill you. So you'll probably be stuck here for quite a while before you manage to force your way past this bit, because these mutants just deal so much damage to you, and there's just no really safe way to just deal with them without getting hit. And worst of all, if you do manage to get past them, there's a big centaur guy outside waiting for you, which you'll also have to kill. And if you were to kill those other 2 first and then die here like I did, it'll just really, really start to frustrate you. I tried all sorts here to get past this bit. As I was stuck on it for a good 40 odd minutes, I tried just running for it and trying to get up to the top, but they would always kill me, and I don't even think that was the right way to go, to be fair, looking back at it now. I think I need to use the item in the door to the left at the bottom of the stairs. But yeah, they would kill me there as well if I tried it, I'm sure, because it would take Lara too long to get the thing out of her backpack and put it in that switch. So yeah, I just died over and over here again and again. And the really annoying part about it is once you get past there, you've then got to deal with Larson before you can actually get a save at the end of the level. So there's just 2 really hard bits in a row, which just made that a really annoying section of New Game Plus to beat, which is why that was the very worst part of the New Game Plus run in Tomb Raider 1. So yeah, while this is a fun and challenging mode, it's not without its problems, and those BS areas are the real stinkers of this run, and it does make it really hard in those places. But if you can get past them, you can easily do the rest of the game in New Game Plus. So yeah, for all the reasons I've mentioned in this video, this is why the Consolidate the Material trophy in Tomb Raider 1 Remastered gets a BS trophy rating of